Courtney Bruns, narrative speech. It doesn't matter who you are, we've all found ourselves in confusing situations where we were completely dumbfounded and we had no idea what was going on. We found ourselves lost in the dark, completely clueless. And of course, we all hate that feeling because we all want to know what's going on, right? So, out of fear, we don't ask the question that we have. We don't ask that question that we think might be a dumb question because we don't want to come off sounding stupid. So instead of asking a question, we stay there, left in the dark, still confused. But instead of asking that dumb question, we are left not knowing, maybe and most likely making a dumb mistake because of it. So, what did we do? What was the better choice in the long run? Well, for me, I think asking that question would have been a better choice. One time when my sister had to go off and babysit these two neighbor girls across the street, she realized that she had a conflicting situation. One of the girls had to be at a basketball camp at 4 o'clock, while the other girl had to be at a piano lesson a half hour later at 4:30. Two separate girls needing to be at two separate places at about the same time. And there's only one babysitter. There's only one Lindsay to take care of them. So Lindsay calls me up and asks for my help. She asks if I could take this girl to basketball camp at 4, which was supposed to last about an hour and a half, so she could take the other girl to her piano lesson a half hour later. I told Lindsay, of course, I'd be happy to help out. Well, that's the least I could do for her, right? So a little bit before 4, I come over to the house, and I am up and available to take this girl to her basketball camp. And Lindsay tells me the basketball camp starts at 4, and it gets done at 5:30. And I said, okay. And off we went, and I took this girl to her basketball camp, and I got her there by 4. Proud of my good deed that I've done, I went back home and relaxed. And then I realized that Lindsay told me that this girl's camp ended at 5:30. And I thought, did this mean that I had to go back and pick this girl up at 5:30? And then I thought, well, no, that's a dumb question. Of course I didn't have to. Lindsay would be able to bring her back at about 5:30 or whenever that was. She'd be able to do it. No worries, I'm golden, I'm fine, I've done my deed. I don't need to ask Lindsay if I should pick this girl up because, of course, I didn't have to, right? Right. So, a couple hours later, Lindsay gets back from babysitting and she asks me how the basketball camp went, how it was to drop this girl off and take her to basketball camp, and how she got home, and if she got home okay. And I said, well, I got her there in time. I got her there by 4, and that went well. And I said, I don't know how it went after that because I didn't take that girl home. And Lindsay just stared at me, or I guess she kind of more glared at me. And then she started screaming at me as she ran out the door and went back across the street to this girl's house. Sure enough, she found her mother there, angry with Lindsay because she had to come home from work to pick up her daughter at basketball camp that ended way before she picked her up because her daughter was the last one there. And so Lindsay came back home, told me that she got in trouble by this young girl's mom, and so I got in trouble by Lindsay because I thought that my dumb question was a dumb question and wasn't worth asking, so instead of asking that question, I just kind of made a dumb assumption and made a dumb mistake.